Fucking,
to comment in a negative way on something that you don't have to have anything to do with. If you could choose to walk on by.
Dude, but they're commenting negative about the people. But it's like, but you're following our channel.
Exactly.
So like, why would you follow our channel if you hate me that much, or if you talking shit about Steve or whatever the
100%.
situation? Like, why would you do that?
And I think the fact that when you then reply with "Hey, you won," and then they're like coming back like, "Yo, that was a dick thing to say." I think the reality is people don't expect any kind of response. They feel like you're up here somewhere, unreachable to whatever degree. You're an influencer or whatever it is. You obviously have a career that revolves around making content.
He's also really good on the podcast, and Vinny's new, but Vinny's killing it too.
I love Vinny here, dude.
Yeah. There have been comments saying that I ate Paul for breakfast.
That's amazing.
It's so sick.
It's wild.
It's wild, the phenomenon of like just people being negative, but like you were right, like people just want to be seen and heard.
Yeah,
that's why they're like, because they probably aren't.
Yeah, exactly. They're not getting attention anywhere else. That's a way that they're reaching out to try to get attention. And when you come back, from a place of love and from a place of kindness, then they're like, oh fuck, what was I doing? I mean, I do think that's the best way. If you're gonna reply that way. Don't engage in the
if I see somebody at the show, or you see somebody at the show, like they're like, dude, I love you on the podcast. It's like the negative comments, they would never say that to your face, never.
Oh yeah.
Or like people talking shit to UFC fighters, like, oh, you fucking pussy. It's like, dude, you would never say that to them. So why would you do that on a fake page?
Exactly. And not just that fact alone. Like I've thought about that too. And then you come to the conclusion, like, oh, this is literally not real. This is not real because you wouldn't say this to me if you saw me.
Yeah.
So it's not this is not a real human interaction. This is some weird internet shit.
Bro, if we had coffee, we'd probably have a lot of similarities. Like, why are you talking to me like that?
Yeah. If I smiled and nodded while I passed you in the airport, you'd probably nod back. You wouldn't say, oh, you fucking suck, dude. I know your shit's trash. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I get rejected by girls too. Like, it sucks. It hurts.
Right.
Like, we're all human.
We all got trauma.
Yeah.
So. I just can't mess with comments, dude.
Yeah.
I'm really pretty disciplined these days about just not. Like, it used to get me the YouTube Creator app because at the bottom of like the dashboard, you see like the most recent 3 comments, and I would like just allow myself to see those 3 comments.
Yeah.
But all too often, one of them just messed up my day. So I just stop scrolling before I get there.
Yeah, that's good. I'm pretty much off the comments myself too. I haven't actually been on socials. Like I haven't been on TikTok or Instagram in a few months.
Man, you gotta kill on TikTok.
Oh yeah. We're going crazy on TikTok.
Are you still doing Omegle?
Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't mention them, so I didn't want to bring them up because when what's going on with Omegle?
With Omegle, yeah. So we do. I have a series called I mispronounce it Omegle. So my series is called Omegle Bars. That's how we say it. But really, I guess it's Omegle Bars. But yeah, Omegle, right? It's like the video chat site matches you with strangers on the internet. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It's like chat roulette or whatever.
Sure.
You're rapping and some dude's jerking off.
Oh yeah. Lots of dudes jerking off.
Has that happened?
Oh, that has happened. Yeah. Not in the video. Like we don't include it in the video.
Right.
But it's funny. Like I didn't want to go on there for a long time because I'm not the first like Omegle content creator. There's musicians that go on there or comedians or whatever. It's just a good way to interact with strangers and get reactions from people who don't know who you are, right? But people would say, yo, you should kill on Omegle. Get on there, get some words for the freestyle. And I was like, man, it's just gonna be a bunch of dudes jerking off, because that's what it used to be. But now they have, I was like, I don't need that, But now they have these sort of like comment filters, so you can type in basically like a hashtag, like what are you interested in? TV, YouTube, music, hip hop, whatever, and it connects you with people with that shared interest. And for whatever reason, it does a really good job filtering out the dicks. So we're on episode 80 of Omegle Bars, and I've probably seen like 20 actual dicks, which is that's pretty good. Like for the amount of time that I've been on there filming content, it's like.
Do you ever do rap battles with,
No, I mean,
Vicky or something?
I think it's safe to say that if Harry Mack takes on anybody at battle rap, he's gonna drop them like a bad habit. And let me tell you how to drop a bad habit. There is this thing called fume, and it's just incredible, man. It's super healthy because you just breathe, and you're breathing in essential oils. It's just a really good way to do a healthy thing instead of an unhealthy thing. And I get a kick out of it, man. I enjoy it. I actually keep it in my pocket all the time these days because I genuinely enjoy it, and I know it's not bad for me at all. Plus, if you get the Journey Pack from tryfum.com, that's tryfum.com, and use the promo code STEVO, then you'll get the Journey Pack with the version 2 fume, plus 3 original flavors, and you get 10% off your order if it's your first time ordering. And I know somebody who's got a habit that they need to drop, so let's you head on over to tryfum.com and use the promo code STEVO as well, Mr. Vincent Imperati. Alright, everybody, I just want my Wild Ride listeners to be healthier and happier and kick those bad habits at tryfum.com using the promo code STEVO. Now, let's get back to it.
No, shout out to Lil Dicky though. He's dope. We watched his show not long ago and I loved it. No, I'm not a battler. You know, it's the same thing. I mean, I was in a couple battles like in middle school, high school, and college and shit like that, just for fun. But you know, in terms of like the professional battle leagues and stuff like that, people see what I do and they're like, bro, you would crush it on the battle scene, you know, you should do that. But it's the same thing as before. It's like I'm not really into the whole dissing thing, and also it's not really a freestyle thing anymore. The battle leagues, it's like these dudes are writing like incredible lyrical, like you know, insane, mind-blowing shit about their opponent. You know, you get paired with an opponent, you have a month or two or however much time you have to prepare like the craziest lyrical shit to destroy this person, and it's amazing what they do. I respect it, you know. I'm a fan, I watch it, you know, but if I went in there just thinking I was gonna go off the top and improvise and go against these guys, I think I would get torn apart, man, because it's not really a freestyle thing.
Yeah, you're like being all nice, and they're just like ripping you to shit.
Yeah, I'm like, dope kicks, and they're like, yeah, but shout out to all the battlers. It is dope. I am a fan of it. It's amazing what they're doing, and I do think it's it's like a niche where super high level lyricism kind of lives, you know? Yeah.
Have you had interactions with Eminem?
No, I never have had interactions with Eminem.
Has he acknowledged you on any level?
No, man, it kills me inside. No, he hasn't. Not yet. But that's Eminem, you know. He's one of the goats. So, yeah, if that comes, you know, that'll be amazing.
Have you been able to work with any like super high level rappers?
Not really like in an official capacity, but I have had the opportunity to freestyle for some really, really dope people, some big name people.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. What's it like doing that in front of Kendrick Lamar or Joey Badass? Like, do you get nervous?
Yeah. I did a freestyle for Joey Badass on the Cruise show in LA, and then a couple months later I did it for Kendrick Lamar. I freestyled next to Soulja Boy and some other people. So yeah, Kendrick, man, I was shitting myself. I was so fucking nervous. Yeah. Because what had happened, I mean, I'll tell you the story real quick. This was back in 2017, so I had just had like my first kind of viral video on YouTube, which was me rapping in Venice Beach, the one you mentioned. And so the radio station hit me up and for the Cruise show, and they said, hey, you know, you want to come by and do a freestyle? Did a little feature on me. And then as an afterthought, when I was on my way out the door, you know, Joey Badass was coming in to do promo for his album, and they're like, oh, would you want to freestyle for Joey Badass if he's into it? And, you know, I'm nervous inside, but I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, let's do it, you know, whatever. And so went in, and Joey was down. Shout out to Joey Badass, because I feel like so many artists would have been like, random YouTube rapper, I don't know, like, I'm here to do promo, you know, maybe not, right? But he was like, fuck yeah, bring him in, you know, and he threw me words for the freestyle the whole time, and that video went crazy. And I had mentioned to Jay Cruz and them from the Cruise show that, like, you know, Kendrick was my favorite artist of today, you know. And so a couple months later when Kendrick was coming on, they hit me up and they were like, bro, come down, do a freestyle for Kendrick. So I was nervous as fuck because I'm, you know, he's one of my heroes for sure, you know. I'm such a big fan.
Since 2016.
Yeah.
My alarm on my iPhone is Kendrick Lamar.
No way. What song?
Dude, how am I?
I got a bone to pick.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it is every
King
time.
Kunta.
Yeah, King Kunta.
That's the joint, bro. That's the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did that not come to me right away? It's literally like anytime I set my alarm, I got a bone to pick.
That's a good way to get the day started too, man.
Hey, you got a bone to pick.
And
Yeah.
I never get bored of it. Like I have no desire to change it. Like that's my alarm, and that's how it is.
That's amazing.
I got
That's
a bone
amazing.
to pick. I got a micro dick.
Yes, sir.
That's all I got, dude.
So you got a chick?
Yeah. I have a girlfriend. We've been together for a long time. 5 years. 5 years we lived
Nice,
together.
dude.
So yeah.
And the whole dynamic of your career is just like, what does she do?
She's my manager.
Oh wow.
We work together. Yeah, she comes on tour with us.
Cool.
Yeah, she kind of like runs a lot of things on the business side.
So she's like Sharon Osbourne, you're Ozzy.
Exactly. That's it, bro. 100%. Which has been like really dope, man. I'm sure it wouldn't work out in every situation, and it's always, people are always curious, like, what's it like working with your girl, because we're together all the time on the work tip, and then we're romantically involved, obviously. But for us, it's really dope, man, and we just are conscious of like making space and stuff like that, and having time apart as well, and having boundaries and things like that. But it's just been really fun, really rewarding to kind of build together in one direction.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't lie about how much money you make anymore, though. That's the problem.
No, exactly. Yeah. It's all she knows better than me. Yeah.
That's cool.
But it's cool too, because I'm very much on the raw creative tip. You know what I mean? And that's why I like freestyling, because I just like that flow state thing. I'm just like, play a beat, let's freestyle. Like, that's why I'm always down to freestyle on a show like this. And I'm like, I like to freestyle. It's not, you're not asking, it's not a tall order to ask me to rhyme. I'm waiting for the opportunity to rhyme. And so because I'm so on that raw creative tip, sometimes the more managerial, system-based things are a little more of a challenge. And that's kind of her world, so it's a good balance.
Like, it's Scott and me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can duct tape himself to a billboard, and I'll make the phone calls and do the paperwork.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. You need that though, right? Oftentimes, you see those partnerships. I feel like, right?
You have to have somebody who fills in your gaps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
I feel comfortable with the fact that like he can throw out the craziest shit in the world.
Yeah.
And what I like doing is I like to make it work.
Yeah.
So like he shouldn't feel held back from doing certain things.
Right.
Except it's like, well, maybe this legal thing might, but
Right.
I know I'm doing my job if he can say the most fucking craziest shit.
Yes.
And like, I'm like, okay, how do you bridge that gap?
Yeah. You build the space around it so that it can exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I love that.
I wanted to ask you a question because being the drummer, did you ever see the movie Whiplash?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But that was like Juilliard. But
Right.
How intense is being a drummer in college for jazz and like?
Juilliard's where Tupac went to school, yeah?
Oh, for acting? Was he an actor?
Yeah, he was an actor. Yeah, for theater, I think. Yeah.
So what's the difference between Juilliard and like you're going to USC?
USC. Oh, I mean, Juilliard's like the most prestigious art school in the world, I think. So that's,
USC's intense too.
USC's good, yeah. Like it's called the Thornton School of Music at USC, and some people would say it's like it's the Juilliard of the West,
okay,
or whatever. So yeah, it was a prestigious program for sure. And yeah, there's intense teachers along the way. I mean, even when I was a kid in Portland, like I would have teachers at times that were super intense, yelling at you and shit like that. I never had anybody throw a chair at my head or anything like that from the movie.
You ever seen the movie Whiplash?
Nah.
With, Miles Teller, what's his name? Miles Teller?
Yeah, that's right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a
fucking
great movie.
crazy. Where
Is it based on a true story?
I want to say yes, just so you watch it. Because you will watch it if it's not based on it, but it's yeah.
No, it's a good movie. Yeah. I had some intense teachers along the way for sure, but nothing like that. Nothing too crazy. I had a lot of supportive teachers too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I just thought about it when I was reading about you.
Well, there is that sort of history in jazz of like the sort of that tough love kind of relationship where like there's stories from the jazz folklore of people throwing cymbals at people's heads and stuff like that, and that's kind of like how you learned. But yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
How many times since you've been with your girl have you guys upgraded your living situation?
Only once, man. Recently, yeah, we got a crib together. So before that, we were living in a tiny, like a back house. We were renting a back house. So, and when I first met her, we were each in our own apartment, obviously. And so we went from the apartment, we got the back house, which was cool. We had a little backyard and stuff. Our landlords were super cool. This older, like, retired couple, they were out of town a lot, and they were just dope. So we stayed there for a long time. And you know, we were there during the pandemic. So that was crazy because we were both together working full-time and living full-time in the pandemic in this tiny little back house. And for hours, I mean, sometimes 10 hours continuously, I'm screaming freestyles, you know, in this little room with the door closed. She's on a Zoom meeting and people are like, is somebody rapping? Like, are you playing some music? I'm just aggressively in the bag talking about micro dicks. No, but just going off rapping. And so that was crazy. We were crammed in a tiny space. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that from the pandemic, from feeling like that.
The pandemic was a tester of relationships.
It was.
And I'm super stoked on how my relationship got kind of stronger.
Hell yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, I mean, if you make it through that and you're still together and you're good, you know, there's no way you didn't get stronger, right?
Right.
So yeah. But we recently got a house together, so which was a major upgrade and exciting thing for us. So
cool, man. Congrats on that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Do you have any tours coming up, or?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. I'm super excited. We're going back out this year. We're doing the U.S. and probably Europe again. The U.S. has been announced. Europe, we're still getting the routing together and everything. But it's going to be crazy. It's much bigger venues. All music venues this time. I loved performing in the comedy venues. It was dope to get in there.
Yeah.
But for hip hop, just the sound system and the sort of, you know, the low end that's necessary. And I think there's a certain energy with people standing up and rather than, you know, the sort of the supper club vibe for what I do. But I'm super stoked, man. We're going out end of March for a few months.
Yeah, I went to a Beastie Boys show at the Greek and it was all sit down and they stopped halfway through and they're like, you guys can get up and like, and then they did 2 more songs, they just bailed. Like, this,
really?
This is fucking whack.
Yeah.
Everyone's just sitting there. You can't just sit there and watch the Beastie Boys.
No, you can't. And it's funny because now when I go to shows, I'm like, we get to sit, right? Like, I love sitting now. Like, when I was in my 20s, I was like standing the whole time whiling out. Now I like to sit, but for a hip-hop show, man, if you're on stage and everybody's sitting down, it's just not the thing, man. You need everybody standing up. You need the body swaying. You know, it's a different type of energy.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different. Like I'm the complete opposite. Like, I feel like if my audience is standing, then they've got the mentality of like being like at a rock show or like, you know, and then like it's just disruptive in the audience.
Sure.
Like I wanted everything seated so that they're more of the mindset like oh, I'm watching a show. Like,
right.
Like you wouldn't scream out shit during a movie in a movie theater.
Right.
You know,
it's just not exactly.
So I'm all about the seated.
I feel that. Yeah, it's depending on what type of show is happening, the venue is so important, right?
Yeah.
And the feel is so important. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're gonna have an opener when you go on tour with the bigger venues?
We're not traveling with an opener. My DJ spins for 30 minutes to 45 before I come out, and then we'll probably have local openers that are sourced by the local promoters and stuff like that.
So when you go from comedy club, you're basically working on the weekends.
Yeah.
When you go to the bigger venues, then you can do like all week long. So Are you gonna travel on a tour bus?
No tour bus. We're gonna have a van like on the ground that's bringing the gear to and from, but we're gonna fly, just because it's easier. Yeah, we're doing a lot of shows. We one of the takeaways from the last tour is like, you know, it's tough when we're doing so many back to back. You know, like after the 3 shows, like new city, straight to sound check, do the show, go to sleep, hop the flight. Like after 3 or 4 in a row, I'm just like, I need to hibernate for 20 hours now. You know, like
that's where the tour bus kicks in.
Yeah, like that must be dope.
Tour bus, like no more airports.
Yeah.
No more hotels.
Yeah.
You're just in this killer crib with your buddies that just magically shows up where you got it.
That's fire.
You know?
Is that you use the tour bus when you go out? That's dope. That's dope.
I've been on the tour bus lifestyle for little over a year. And God, I love it.
That's amazing.
But even before that, you've been in the RV lifestyle for like 3 years before that too.
We've been doing this podcast in this RV for coming about 3 years.
Wow.
It's dope, man. I love it. I love it.
Hey.
Just everything's all preset, ready to roll.
It's
Yeah.
killer, man.
Yeah.
And I don't have to do shit because Vinny sets it up.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Vin.
Yeah, dude.
Shout out to Vinny.
Shout out to Vinny, dude.
Yeah,
That's fire.
Vinny, dude, you ate Paul, dude.
Can you take us out with a rap for the wild ride and a shout out to Vinny?
Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me
But before we do that, is there anything? Do you have any merch that we can promote? Do you have like
Absolutely.
social media